just got to keep that momentum, playing 4 quarters, playing together, all 3 phases of the ball, and I think we'll be fine.
Not that this team needs any extra motivation, but knowing that first place is up for the first place is up for grabs, you could knock Dallas out of first place. What kind of mindset does that create for you guys?
Just got to go out and play our ball. I think that's the biggest thing. We just got to go out and play our ball, make more plays than they do. Defensively, I think we just got to stop the run. They were able to run the ball on us pretty good last time. We played them a couple weeks ago. For us, we need to stop the run and get after the quarterback. As I say all the time, we put teams behind the sticks, and I don't think anybody can stop our 4-man pass rush when we're really attacking people. And it's going to come down to, I think one thing, our D-line versus their O-line, and our O-line versus their D-line. Who can make the most plays and who can be the most disruptive. And, that partner, I got a great locker room of guys, and that's ready to go to battle.
Fletcher, with everything that's gone wrong this year, the injuries, the tough losses, the fact that you're in this position to play for first place, is that kind of rejuvenating a little bit?
I think the biggest thing for us right now is, coming off of, we did something that we haven't done all year. 1-2 games in a row, and that says a lot. I think and we're getting rolling at the right time. We're playing good, later in the season, and that's when, honestly, that's when you want to be good. Later in the season, when I'm not saying that early in the season don't matter, but later in the season, now we get guys back and healthy and keep guys coming back. So it was good last week to get a win, and I'm looking forward to Sunday.
You've had a lot of success in that building over the last few years. Does it help? Especially in the division game, when you go to a place where you've won a lot and had a lot of success? Or is it a fresh start each year?
It's always a fresh start. It's the NFL, and you have to respect, every team that you play. And, they got a really good team. They won some games in a row, so they're going to come out with a lot of swag and a lot of energy ready to play. And for the biggest thing, I think this game is going to be heated. It's probably going to start out a heated game. It's a big rivalry. It's a division game for us, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's an honor. It's not why you do this stuff, but it's cool. At the same time, it gives our foundation a lot of exposure, help us to do more good, and it also feels weird because you're like, I don't think I'm that great a guy. I mean, you know what I mean? You're like, I screw up all the time, whatever. So it's just there's a lot of great men in this locker room and around the league, so it's hard to be nominated for something like Man of the Year and think, yeah, they did the right thing. But I'll take it. I'm humbled by it, and it helps the foundation. Yep.
Obviously, it does get you a lot of publicity. How much do you notice that helping when it comes up as much as it does?
It helps a lot. Like, for instance, not just like with this. Like, before I played in New England and then here in a smaller market on teams that weren't winning as much, like, my foundation didn't get as much traffic. And so coming to a place like Philadelphia and, things that come with it, like this nomination, it definitely helps advance our goals with what we do off the field.
This was part of the reason you kept playing, was to take advantage of the platform. Does it make it worthwhile when you see it come together?
For me, it's coming together when I see the results of what we do. It's not really about getting nominated for an award or anything like that. It's nice. It's like I said, it's humbling. It's an honor. But for the work we do, 365 days a year, my team and me at my foundation, seeing the difference that we're able to make, that's when it's coming together for us, is impacting people. So the publicity stuff is cool because it draws more attention to what we're doing and allows more fans to get involved and sheds light on some of the issues that we talk about. So we talk about the clean water crisis, which is one of the big things we do. You talk about 600 million people around the world without access to that necessity, what I believe is a human right, and I don't get to talk about that as much. You guys aren't going to crowd around my locker every day. You got other stuff to do, except for on a day like this. So it does help, lend some light onto what we do.
Switching to the game for this week, what's something that you can take from the last time that you guys played just a few weeks ago going into this Sunday?
Well, at this time of the year, having played, a lot of our divisional opponents, Cowboys being no exception, it helps to have all the experience that we've gained this year going into this December stretch. And this is where teams start to play either, they either take that next step and play their best football or not. So I think we've learned a lot about ourselves, and we'll continue to learn more. And having already played them once really helps us.
You touched on this, but this is going into the fourth quarter of the season.
Yeah.
Do you try to pull it all from maybe some of the runs that you guys went on last year, the playoff runs from last year, to going into big games like this?
Well, I mean, I think anybody that's been here knows we've played in a lot of big games around here lately, and that's the goal. And you know, that's part of winning. Is then you're gonna, you know, a lot of people are gonna be paying attention. There's gonna be more pressure on us, and I think that helps in situations like this. You know, it's gonna be a big time atmosphere. There's a lot riding on it, and you know. I feel like most guys in this locker room have been in situations like this before as a result of everything we've done. So I think it helps that way. But at the end of the day, Sunday's about Sunday, and whoever's going to play their best game, it doesn't matter what's happened thus far this year.
Chris, with all that's gone wrong this year with injuries and tough losses, is it rejuvenating to think that you got a chance to play for first place now?
You know, it just goes to show you that this league's crazy, our division's crazy, and you know, everything's still out there in front of us, but at the end of the day, we've got a really good team to prepare for, and we can't worry about, you know, standings and whatnot. We got to try to win a football game, and in a hostile, you know, situation down in Dallas against a good football team that's playing, they're really peaking right now. So we have to play our best game of the year.
As a follow to that.
Did you see what Kim said about the Cowboys, they were choking when they make them choke?
What do you guys think about that?
What
You guys like that, though. Tell the truth, y'all like that. Because, I mean, it makes y'all's job easier, right? So, I mean...
Is it something, though, that, like, maybe you shouldn't be doing those kind of things right now?
Listen, my style is I want to get ready for a football game, and I'm not going to, you know, give you guys anything to make your jobs easier. But you know what happens, and there's a lot riding on. I know both teams respect each other, and at the end of the day, it's going to be a hell of a competitive football game. Both teams want to beat each other. You know, newsflash. I think sometimes we forget that. So at the end of the day, I'm just ready to play football.
As a follow-up to what you said before.
Huh?
As teammates, you still have Khalil's back, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, it's not something I'd say, but I got his back. I got his back. It's going to be a physical, intense football game. And at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. And I got Canu's back, and everybody's got each other's back. That's what a team's about. So, and it's a rivalry game. So, you know, it is what it is.
As a follow-up to what you said before, you guys keep talking about 1-0 and things of that nature, but you're not robots. Do you acknowledge the implication of the game and the situation you're in?
Well, yeah, that's why it's so important to think about it 1-0, because there's no. If it's not 1-0, we're in a real bind. Okay. So everything has to revolve around winning one football game.
Given what happened in New Orleans, what does it mean now on Sunday?
Man, you still on New Orleans?
Just the transition that on this Sunday you're playing for first place in the division.
That's the NFL season. I mean, you know, no wins carry into the next week, neither do any losses. It's all about, you know, the opportunities you have, making sure that, you know, number one goal for everybody is win the division. That goal has never been too far to reach all year. So while things haven't looked like we wanted them to, it hadn't been easy. Nobody said it would be. Our goals are still right in front of us. Obviously, no bigger game than this Sunday.
Malcolm, what's your take on bulletin board material? Do you think that exists?
No.
No?
Any question?
It doesn't?
No.
How could that not spur some people, fire some people up, like?
I mean, I guess it could. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's
we're
at the end of
talking
the
about.
day.
If someone says that your team is chokers, I mean, doesn't that get your attention?
Is that if I was playing for first place, but that's going to make me get a little bit more. That was going to rile me up more than the opportunity to win the division. I mean, I don't. I guess.
As one of the leaders on the team, were you disappointed that Camus said that?
No.
Amari Cooper's had a couple more games. How have you seen that develop against that couple of offense?
I mean, I think since he stepped in the lineup, he's made them better on offense. Just another weapon, spreading things out. You're not able to kind of focus on just Zeke or the run game. He's demanding that attention on the outside, and when you don't, he's winning the matchups. He's a good route runner, making explosive plays on the perimeter. He's that number one receiver that they've been looking for, and he's been productive.
It's clear that you guys know what's at stake this Sunday: a win, first place, a win against the Cowboys in Dallas. Now that you're going into the fourth quarter of the season, what kind of mindset do you guys try to attack with this?
Well, I mean, this is the time, where you need to turn it into a new gear. You know, as a team, when you hit December late in the year, the last quarter, that's not when you're just holding on. You got to turn it on. And so that attention to detail, that preparation, you know, everything ratchets up a little bit on top of obviously the game itself. So, you know, we got a great opportunity, but we're not going to look too far ahead of the results that we're trying to get. We're going to focus on the process like we've done all year.
So as a leader on this team, what's your message to make sure that guys are doing it?
Well, I mean, it starts with only controlling like what's in front of you. So that's day by day, all the way up until the game day. We got to do everything we can to exhaust our resources to prepare, and then when we get to the game, just play like anything else.
Malcolm, with everything that's gone on this year, the injuries, the tough losses, is it kind of rejuvenating though to think that you're in this position to play for first place?
I mean, I don't know about rejuvenating. I think we've never been like out of this spot. We've been within reach all year. So while it's been frustrating that things haven't been the way they are, or the way we drew them up to be, you know, at no point did we ever feel like we were out of it. So it's not a shock that we're here in this spot. We've been competing for the division all year, and so we just arrived to where we know we would be.
In the post-game huddles, you've allowed Chris Long to kind of break down the huddle. What was your decision to allow him to?
We first broke it down. It was after New Orleans. I was not in a position to talk to the team at that point. And then we won the next week, so I figured I'd let it go. And we won again, so I'll keep it going. Hey, whatever works.
Malcolm, you may have addressed this, we may have missed it, but the comments that Campbell made about the Cowboys, is that something that maybe you shouldn't be doing at this point?
I don't know. You tell me. You asked him questions, he answered it.
What did you think of his comments?
I thought they reflected his personal opinion.
You've been here for a few years now, so you understand Cowboys-Eagles rivalry.
Yep.
Is it extra special that so much is on the line?
Oh, yeah. I think that's just how the East always works out, at least since I've been here. You always got late divisional games that seem to decide, you know, whether you're going home in January or you're playing on who wins the division. So this year is no exception. You know, so this is what we train for. This is what we work for. These type of opportunities. It's where we knew we'd be. We didn't obviously know what road it would take to get here, but we're here, and so you know, we'll make sure we do everything we can to put our best ball out there.
It's kind of a signature game. For both.
Signature. I'll let you say that.
Each year, you know you'll play the division twice. But it's rare to do it twice in 28 days. With the notes as fresh as they are, does game planning matter as much in a game like this, or is there so much familiarity that it really doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at both of our teams, I think we're in a spot where we're fine-tuning our bread and butter. I don't think anybody's trying to be too fancy or recreate the wheel late in the season. It's just doing what you do well. They run the ball well. They move people, you know, off the ball. The line of scrimmage, control passing game with you know, easy looks for the quarterback, run pass options. And they want to take shots down the field. They got a receiver that can win on one-on-one. And they don't go outside of that no matter who they play. We're the same way on defense. We want to stop the run. And then when we get you an opportunity, we can rush your quarterback. We're going to rush your quarterback. But we got to earn those things. And so it's going to come down to who can execute, you know, the best.
Is it I don't want to use the term easier, but a short week, is it more conducive when the opponent is familiar as opposed to an AFC team?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Whenever, you know, we know this team well. And so, yeah, if you're going to be on a short week, it's better to be in a division. And we just played them, I feel like a month ago. So I think that familiarity definitely helps on a short week. But, you know, what's easy in theory is oftentimes difficult in execution.